Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete our employee leave option, right? So here we successfully complete it. So now in this video I want to discuss about that employee attendance. So that will be very much interactive one of the things. So in this video I will show you how can create that employee attendance option in this project. So now let's get started. So first of all, I want to do that is our project directory and that is our menu, right? So that is our employee management every portion. So I want to add another menu as a employee attendance, in particular that area. So that is in our sidebar. So first of all, we have to go to our project, and into the project that is our there is a view. Into the view that is admin. Into the admin there is a body, and then that is our sidebar, right? So into the sidebar area we have to create one of the menu. So that is our student management and that is our employee management. So into the employee management area I want to create another menu. So that will be as a employee attendance. Okay, that will be as a employee attendance. So here first of all we have to create one of the route for view it. So that will be, I just name it as a employee attendance view. Okay, so this type of one of the route I want to create as employee attendance view. So now if you want to create this route, we have to go to our web route. So into the web, first of all, better I want to create new one. I copy it. So in particular this same, that means this same prefix here I paste it. Okay, so that is our last one. Perfect. So that will be as an employee and not that leave. That will be the employee attendance. Okay, that is the employee attendance all route. So that is our route, and here I name that route in our sidebar. Into the sidebar area I name it as a employee attendance and then view. I copy it and then I name it as a employee attendance view. Okay, and our URL I want to replace it to leave to the attendance. So that will be as attendance employee view, and also we have to create one of the controllers. So better I want to create another controller, not that leave. It will be as a employee attendance. Employee, I make it as a capital letter, the employee attendance controller. So this type of one of the controller I want to create. Okay friend, so also our method will be, I name it as a attendance. I only want to replace that leave to the attendance. So that will be as a attendance view. This type of one of the method I want to create. So if you want to create this controller, I copy it and now go to our project directory. Into the project directory I run that cmd and I name it as a php artisan make controller, and then into the backend, and then in our employee folder I want to create one of the controller that will be as a employee attendance controller, right? So that is our folder. Make that sure this folder spelling is correct. That is our http and then the backend, and then that is our employee, right? So that is our employee. So that is our employee folder name, and here I want to create this controller. Now click as enter. Our controller created successfully, right? So here if you go to now employee folder, into the employee folder there is a new controller I have created as a employee attendance controller. So our first work is we have to add this controller in our web. That means we have to support it. So let's do that work. So that is our employee related everything. So I copy. Okay, I copy it. So and then there is our backend. Into the backend there is our employee folder. Into the employee folder now I have created one of the new controller as a employee attendance controller. I copy it, so that will be as an employee attendance controller, right? So now we can use it. So here I simply add it. So now we can actually use that employee attendance controller. And also for the employee I want to create another model. Okay, I want to create another model, and also we have to create one of the migrations table. So better go to our again that position, and I want to create one of the models. So I think at that point you already know how can create that model. That will be as a php artisan make model, and I want to create another model that will be as a employee. Okay, I name it as a employee attendance. So this type of one of the model I want to create, and also I want to create one of the migration table. So that will be as a /m, right? So now if you click as a enter, now it will be created one of the model, and also it will be created another migration file. Perfect. So first of all, I want to actually support all the things in our controller. That means in our employee attendance controller, if you go to employee leave, so into the employee leave, so right now I want to actually copy every our previous all that model, because that will be also be needed. If it's not important, then it's okay, but I want to support everything. So right now I copy it, and then in our employee attendance controller here I support it. Okay, and also now I have created one of the new one, so better I copy it and here I paste it. So I have created new one, another model. So if you go to that model, into the model area, you can see I have created a new model as employee attendance. So now I copy it, and here I want to do and to support it. That means the employee attendance model. So I have also created another file as a migration file. That means if you go to the database, into the database there is a migrations, and I have created new file here. So that is our employee attendance table. So into the employee attendance table, that is actually connected with our user table, right? Because from to the user we have to get that employee information. So I want to create another foreign key of that our user table, and better I copy it. Okay, I copy it and I add some of the field for this. First of all, I want to take one of the field as the employee ID. Okay, I name it as employee underscore ID. And also I put some of the comment to you, so that will be one of the foreign key of our user table. That means our user ID. So I put one of the comment. I put one of the comment for you. So that will be as a that means this employee ID is equal to, that means that is our user ID, right? That means the user table ID. Perfect. So here that will be one of the foreign key, and then I want to add another field. I want to take it as a date. Okay, date field, and then also I want to take another field as a attend status. Okay, attend underscore status. So this type of one of the field I want to take. So that will be enough. Here we don't need any rest of this. So that is a 3 field. One is the employee ID. That will be obviously one of the integer. Okay, I make it as an integer type, and the date will be as a date type, and also the attendance status I make it as a string. Okay, I make it as a string. Perfect. So that's all. That is actually all that field, and that is our employee ID, which is our user ID, one of the foreign key, and then the date, and also I take another one as the attend status. Okay, that means the present, the absent, the leave. So everything will manage it in particular that field area. Perfect. So that's all. So now I want to migrate it. Now click as a save all, and after that I want to migrate it. So if you want to migrate, that is a PHP artisan migrate, right? So PHP artisan migrate. If you now click as a enter, yeah, our table is now successfully created. Now if you go to our database, into the database, now click as a refresh. Now you can see new table is added as employee attendance. Into the employee attendance, you can see there is employee ID is one of the foreign key of our user table ID. Because employee means what? I have already created some of the employee, and that all that employee in our user table, right? So for the reasons from to this, with this we will get all that our employee details, and that will be as a date, and then that is our attendance status. That's all. Okay, that's all. So now here that is actually our project. So right now we don't need this. Here we successfully created our database table. So now I minimize that our database, and now we have to create our this method. So here in our web route I have created one of the method as a attendance view. Yeah, so now we have to create this method in our employee attendance controller. Now go to our employee attendance controller. Here I have also support our model, that model we have created as employee attendance, right? So here I want to create one of the method. So that will be as a public, and then function, and then our method. So that will be our method, right? So into this method, first of all I want to get all the data. So I want to get this data. That means that will be the same procedure. I take as a data. Into the data I take one of the variable as all data. Okay, I name it as all data variable, and then with our this employee attendance model, so with this model I want to get all the data, and you can also make it as a order by. I want to get this as order. Okay, order by, and order by will be as a ID descending order. So I make it as ID, and then that will be as a descending order, that means DESC, right friend? And then I get this data. Simply I get this data. Perfect. That means I want to get all the data with the order by, descending order by, all the data. I want to take it from our this table that I have created. So that is right now as empty from to this table, right? And I get this data, take the things with this variable, and after that I want to return one of the view page. That means I return one of the view, and for the view I want to do, if you go to our backend, that means into the backend, before I have created another folder as a employee, right? So into the employee folder I want to create another folder as a employee attendance, then that will be actually better. So now first of all our backend folder, so into the backend folder, that is our employee folder. Into the employee folder I want to create one of the another folder as a employee attendance, employee, and then underscore attendance. Okay, so this type of one of the folder I want to create, and here I want to create one of the view page. That means that will be as a employee attendance underscore view. Okay, so this type of one of the page I want to create, and here I get all the data, take the things with this variable. So that means this variable, and that is our data array. So now I simply pass this data in our this page. So with this comma I simply pass it. Okay, I simply pass this our data, and that will be one of the semicolon. Perfect. So friend, I think this is very much clear to you. So now we have to create this view page. That means first of all we have to create this folder into the employee folder. That means in our backend, that is employee folder, and here I want to create our this folder as a employee attendance. So now I create one of the new folder and name it as a employee attendance. So into the employee attendance I want to create another view file. I copy that file, and then into the attendance I create another new file, and now click as a save as, and I name it as a employee attendance underscore view dot blade dot php. Okay, so that will be our view file. So sidebar, we don't need this sidebar right now, I remove it, and also here there is a leave view, I don't need this, I remove it. Okay, perfect. So that is our controller, and that is our view file. So now first of all I want to do view file will be as same. Here we have to load one of the data table, right? So from our employee leave, into the employee leave there is an employee leave view. I copy everything. Okay, I copy everything from to this position, and now in our employee attendance view, that means in our employee attendance folder I have created this file, and now here I simply paste it. Okay, so we'll customize it as per our demand. Like that is our employee leave. So I want to make it, that will be on the list page. So I make it as the employee attendance. Okay, attendance list. So that will be as the employee attendance list, and that will be as the add attendance, not that leave. So now I remove it. So from here we have to also add on the add page. I think you already know about that part. And then here there is a serial number will be needed. Name I want to visible. Purpose, so right now we don't need this purpose. I want to make it as a date, right? So that will be as a date will be needed, and also the date and the attendance status. That means the present, absent, or the leave. So that will be needed. So I want to take another one as a attendance. Okay, attend status. So this type of one of the field I want to take. So right now we don't need this ended, and then there is action. I'm better I want to make it as a 20%. Okay, because there are the small field that is actually 1 2 3 4 5 6, and also from to this position I want to remove right now there is a no needed for the relationship. I will do the things later. Right now I only want to do, I pass all the data with this variable as all data, and here there is the same name as the leave. I change it as a value. Okay, value will be better. Then you don't need to change every time. That will be actually common one. Okay, so now with this value I want to visible right now our field name, our database this table field name as employee ID. So now I simply add that as a employee ID. Okay, and then the ID number for the user ID number. So friend, right now I want to do, I will actually update these things later. Right now I simply paste it. I only updated that value. Okay, so here I only updated this as employee ID. That means the serial number will be visible, there is a name will be visible, ID will be visible, and date, attendance date. So here we don't need this, I remove it. Okay, and then with this value, we have to use that for the edit or the delete. So now I add both of these, updated that value. Okay, that means this ID. Perfect. So now if you want to check it, now click as a save all. I want to save all, and now go there, and here I refresh it, and here you can see there is a new menu is added as a employee attendance. So now if you click as a employee attendance, that is our employee attendance list page. And right now I don't have any data, and that is all that our field as a serial number, name, ID number, date, and the attendance status, right? And then the action, and that is our another button for the add attendance. Perfect. So now friend, I want to create our this add attendance page. So from to the add attendance page, I want to insert that employee all that attendance. Okay, and here also we'll create some of the interactive things. I hope you're going to like it very much. So how can create this page? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.